time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there've been times that I thought I could last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
Back when I was a child, before life removed all the innocence, my father would lift me high and dance with my mother and me, and then spin me around till I fell asleep. Then
tested. Right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Venison Jeffrey, and this is the Workers' Rights Platform. We are broadcasting live from the Workers' Rights Network. Now, last night, we were in the area of Shogunas by the UNC headquarters, and we would have taped the entire event. And what we are going to do here today, we are operating on a different operating system. So, you know, we had was to tweak around a little bit with certain things that, you know, that was more running kind of course in the background. Now, I would like you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, there is a very important message that was sent here last night. Bacchanal, commerce, but yet still the human element was present, and we were able to capture that moment. I, Sheldon Can, the whole workers' rights team, we would have had interviews from many of the people that was there. So we urge you, this is a different broadcast here, in which would have captured the human element within this whole scenario. Something that, you know, I and my partner Sheldon say, but you know, that missing from these Monday night forums and them, because all the time the camera does be facing the speakers and them. This was a chance in which we went down into the crowd and we would have picked up comments and views from the people that would have attended the Monday night forum. And trust me, very interesting. People are hope. A lot of people would have came to the meeting with hope in their heart because of what is taking place, and everybody's saying the same thing. What is going on in our country is deplorable. Many are the people there, and we would have promised you last night that we would have we'd have aired the broadcast, but time. So what we are going to do now is air this broadcast in its entirety for you to see, alongside with the views of the normal person that would have attended. A matter of fact, some people calling for Jack Warner, the one Jack Warner back. People would have expressed several different views last night in this Monday night forum by the UNC headquarters. So what we are going to do here now is play that tape. Thanks for joining us here. It was an unscheduled live. The live supposed to start 10 o'clock. But we apologize for the delay. Sorry about that, guys. So we are heading right now into this whole interview.
So good afternoon, folks. My name is Sheldon Khan from the Progressive Empowerment Party for the Point 14 area. And this afternoon, as you know, the Progressive Empowerment Party for this election, this 2025 election, is doing a coalition with the UNC. Tonight being the 16th of December will be the last meeting before the Christmas season. So we're here in conjunction with the UNC to do a live broadcast of this Monday night meeting. This evening we're here with some supporters from Shogunas West. And they are saying that they want Jack Warner for Parliament, for their member, for this coming election. Yes. So what do you have to say, brother? This is the man here? Yeah. Tell me what you have to say.
Why I want Jack Warner.
Tell me, why?
Jack Warner had done so much for Shogunas West.
Right. I remember that.
Especially Felicity.
Right.
And I don't want anybody else but Warner.
You don't want anybody else?
If it's not
I
Warner,
can agree with that.
If it's not Warner, well, my vote will just sit down on the shelf. I live Felicity all my life.
You could be a Jack Warner, I could be a Jack Warner,
man. What? I prefer Jack Warner to represent me. The people had to come out and support Jack.
Yes.
And if they come out, this is just a start.
Right.
And from this start, if they come out and support Jack Warner,
Right.
we should have.
Good. My name is Sheldon Khan from the Progressive Empowerment Party. Tonight we are the Monday night meeting in Shoguanas with the UNC at their headquarters. This is the last meeting before the Christmas holidays, and we're here to give the UNC our support. Tonight we're outside the headquarters here, as you can see. So let's go in and talk to some folks and see if we could get some opinions of why people are here, what they think about the election, how they feel, right? That the UNC and this coalition could work for this country and make it a better place. Come, let's go. Hi, how are you going? You okay?
Good,
Yeah. Hi, ladies. How you all? How you all going tonight? My name is Sheldon Khan from the Progressive Empowerment Party. This is my friend Renison Jeffrey here from the Workers' Rights Channel. And tonight we're doing a little coalition with the Progressive Empowerment Party and the UNC for the next round. You'd like to say a few words as to why you're here tonight? You're shy. You want to say you're looking so lovely, you and your friend too, all you and why? How come you're all in yellow? Come, let's see. Let me hear why. You should be...
have yellow.
Huh?
And in a few minutes you will know why we're here.
In a few minutes, so you want to tell me now? Why you here?
Why we're here.
Why you here? You. Why you here? So as I say, let's move inside. Let's see if we can move around and talk to some people. Good night, friends. So I've seen everybody. Don't talk to you. Don't talk to you. But give me that yellow polo. You don't look at a yellow polo hat. Give me if you want to talk to you, give me that hat. So you see, if you want to talk to you, give me that yellow polo hat. Are the orange one?
Nah, the yellow, the color alone stand out. Yeah.
I feel like give me that, you'll get in trouble. You only say that you white by the hat for him and you just don't want to say. Who is your man to talk to?
That fella right there.
That fella right there? Yeah, no problem. So good afternoon, sir.
Hey, okay.
Are you okay? My name is Sheldon. I'm from the Progressive Party. Hey! Hey! What the? What? Where's that one, man? Precious, man. Where's that one?
For what you say. Remember you're on your life.
Hey, so what's wrong with that? Well, if I'm on the life, if I'm on the life, then better if I'm on.
Yeah, right?
So, folks, as I was saying, my name is Sheldon. At that time, this woman said, she introduced herself just so you know. She from ladies and gentlemen, at that time, this woman is introduced herself just so.
Hello everyone.
Hey, I would like it to give
Why you
my
pushing me
back.
out of the picture, Precious?
And I would like it to give you my
Yes. You see, so long you work with me, you forget to put on your mic.
Hi everyone, my name is Precious Cruikshank, as you all may know, and it's good to see my fellow brother Sheldon Khan in the midst of the United National Congress headquarters.
You're taller, brother.
I never thought I would see the day that he is here, but he is here, and I am very happy and pleased to welcome him. Give him a warm United National Congress welcome to our beautiful headquarters. We are so happy to have you, Sheldon.
Yes.
So what are we expecting today?
Who we expecting today?
Who we expecting
Well,
to
of
come out
course, we are expecting our political leader, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. She's always our featured speaker, and we have a sound and dynamic set of speakers that's going to be speaking tonight for our last meeting. And I hope the viewers enjoy, because they are going to enjoy tonight. All right, so it's so happy to see you, Sheldon. So happy, viewers, to come along in the ride and to hear good, impactful speakers, future government of Trinidad and Tobago. All right, so thank you so much, guys.
Okay, thank you so much.
So, folks, that was Precious.
Boy,
Of course,
he's a boss. You're always here. You don't just come, you're always here. Very happy.
And daddy man that say we had to talk to you.
Daddy man,
Yeah.
come. Don't try to get away. Introduce yourself.
Yeah.
So
Good
your
night,
name
folks. Good night, folks. I'm Paul Bando. I'm an alderman at the City TRC. I'm a lifetime member of the UNC. I am from Brazil, where we are proud supporters of the UNC. And I'm happy to see you guys.
Yes.
Right? Being here with us
Striking
tonight.
numbers.
Striking numbers, giving us full support.
At the end of the
As
day-
we all know, at the end of the day,
At the end of the day, we for country first.
yes, and it's a worthy cause, because we would benefit, our children, our grandchildren would
children most
benefit.
importantly.
Right? We need, if ever we needed this full support, is now. right? And we hope and
We need
pray.
everybody to be on board.
Exactly. And we hope and pray to have God guidance to keep us, you know,
What are
healthy.
some of the problems you're having in your constituency in particular?
The roads, number one. Right?
So Rowan, you don't know about Dombali?
Well, Rohan, not Rohan, like Iran, because it does nothing in my constituency, Lafoket, at all. Absolutely nothing. In terms of
And
security.
that's flooding. What's going on with that flooding? up there?
Well, the place, to be honest, this year it didn't flood. But we hope it flood will get water because we're not getting water from Wassa. Right? And I, being a former police officer, 23 years, it hurts me to see that security is lapsing. We are not secured in our homes, in our cars, children in the school, right? So in all areas, all ministry they have failed.
I don't want to take away from it, but in light of this recent murder that would have taken place just yesterday or 2 days back, where the lady throat was slit, the Mohammed family.
Well, that was atrocious. That was very sad. It hurt me.
You
I
know-
don't know
you
her.
know them
I don't know the person. But it could happen to anybody, whether religion, race, creed. It's really, really unbearable at this time.
As an ex-policeman,
Yeah, it hurts, and I hope that they will apprehend the culprit soon. I really do hope so that justice will prevail, because our justice system is a mess.
Yeah,
because if even they apprehend somebody, it may take 10 years or more.
we really need a change to put a
Yes.
halt on what's taking place.
Yes, we need constitutional changes. And I believe Kamla and her cabinet would have the fortitude and the objectivity to get this constitutional reform going that could change this delay in the justice system.
Well, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I really
I've enjoyed the
appreciate you
meeting.
guys. Thank you.
All right, brother.
So folks, you all heard from the councillor. And as I say again, tonight, we are at the UNC
You
headquarters.
got to speak, eh?
Yes,
You understand?
yes. Very eloquent. Very
informative.
Very
Yes,
informative.
brother. Yeah, man.
So again, tonight, we're in front of the UNC headquarters. My name is Sheldon Khan from the Progressive Empowerment Party. Oh God! Look, Mr. Oxton Jack Warner, man. Mr. Jack, how are you tonight, sir? The reason why I'm rushing towards here is because I now pass a big 10-foot banner right outside the gate there. And I have a lot of people out there saying that they only want Jack Warner for Shogunas West. When I start talking the truth,
Yeah. The house, you see that? You see the
right
banner?
outside the gate there.
The outside the gate.
Come, let's show you. Come, let's show you. Folks, this is Jack Warner, the one and only. And we're going to show him the banner where the people of Shogunas West said if they only want Jack Warner, nobody else. So you see, you have a cameraman here, and these are the people are talking about it.
Yeah, this is the guy. Yeah, this is the guy. Yeah, who say?
So Mr. Warner, this is the banner here we're talking about. And it has some people. You see it? They say only if they get Jack Warner. For Shogunas
So,
West.
Mr. Jack Warner, you see the banner. What you have to say about that? That the people really want you for this area.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
You're impressed.
Yeah, I'm impressed, but I wasn't aware of this. Is one banner they have or several?
So, what is your thoughts on it? Yeah, you
No,
must understand something.
it's the first time I've seen it.
All right.
And all I'm saying is I'm impressed. Right?
Well,
After saying all that,
it tells you of your reputation.
well, I work hard when I was here. You know?
Yes.
I work hard.
Yes.
Nobody could dispute that.
No, I guess that's why the banner
And
is
this is
there.
why the banner is there.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk.
Yeah.
How you feel about it?
What do you mean?
Put in mind.
I feel okay. This is a result of hard work. And I'm happy that the people have not forgotten. That is all. All right?
Mr. Warner, one thing. You did plenty. I must say, things that you had done in Shogunas West, I commend you for that. And I personally would like you to represent Shogunas West.
But that decision is not mine.
Well,
And we
Right.
have good on the
This
ground.
is not mine.
We have
But
good
here what?
people,
Right.
plenty people
I hear you.
saying. Today we could bring out all of them, but all people in the village, they say they're asking for Miss Jack Warner. You understand? But we did this, we saw this banner and we bring it.
Oh, you put this banner up?
Yeah.
Oh, you put it up?
No, all of us here. Whenever I mean that this
People
guy
of
here.
Shogunas West.
Just
Yeah.
you'll find nomination, feel like people want you back.
Yeah.
Boy, I repeat, That is not my decision to make.
Right. We understand.
I know what you're saying, but I mean, now you're seeing the people that's calling for you. Would you file nomination?
That date passed already, man.
All right. Okay, go on.
So that was Mr. Warner, right? Come, Nicole, this is the secretary for the Progressive Empowerment Party, as I said tonight. Yeah, that's not a problem. Yeah, leave on the light. We do nothing with the banner here, right? He doesn't like excited. That's all. Everybody excited about the coalition, right? So this is Nicole. She's the secretary for the Progressive Empowerment Party. As you know tonight, we're doing a shared event with the United National Congress and the Monday night meeting. So Nicole, what are your thoughts on the coalition?
I think it's a fantastic idea. Anything to get out of here.
What are some of the things you're looking for coming out of this in your area?
In my area especially, a lower in crime, a decrease in crime, proper roads, proper drainage. That is what my community needs.
What are some of the problems you're all having in your area? Yeah.
I'm going to take this call now.
Yeah, well, go ahead. So that was Nicole. As you know, she's a busy woman. And again, my name is Sheldon Khan from the Progressive Empowerment Party, with my partner here from Shogunas West, who put up this banner for Austin Jack Warner, right? And he's saying, once they put Jack for this 2025 election, he voted UNC. Right? That's what you say? Yes. Right. So we're here in the meeting tonight, and we come to get the views of the people as to their feelings, as to why everybody thinks it's necessary to put aside the differences and come together for this 2025 election.
Right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, fellas.
But he don't talk, he's only smile.
Yes, brother. God bless.
Hey, look, Philip! Look, Philip! Hey! Stay there, there, red, stay the light, right there, red by the lights. This here is Philip Edward Alexander! Remember that?
Don't let him get with me.
We're going! Where's our library running? We're going! Come on, we're right here. Right. So, I had to say that. This is a man correct.
What have we spoken about before? What were you speaking about? Why we here? What we doing?
Why we here? What we doing?
Rescuing Trinidad and Tobago. We're joining forces with all the powerful forces to remove the demons from office.
All right.
We are here to rescue Trinidad and Tobago. We're here to save the children. We're here to save the old people. We're here to save jobs. We're here to save the country. We're here to put water back in your pipe. We're here to make sure everybody get the same education, the same healthcare treatment. We want a good country, a functional country. We have everything that we could use to give us that, so let's get to that. The first step is to get rid of the PNM, and that's what we're here to do.
I like how that comes back. They don't want to tell you that.
We have this guy here from TV6. I know if you want to ask a few words.
What's up, my brother? All is well. I was on TV6 this morning. Me and Marlon had it out. Me and Marlon went toe to toe. But we good though. Me and Marlon good. Hey, you want back your mic, sir?
Yeah. Let's go inside and see if we can get someone. Yeah. So we move with the next Prime Minister.
You got to stand up in front with the banner.
Yeah.
Come with the banner, hey! Come with the banner.
We have moved under the leadership of our distinguished and esteemed leader, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, from a period of democracy between 2010 and 2015 to one of kleptocracy. Don't get tied up. When we talk about a kleptocracy, we are talking about a government run by a gang of thieves, bandits, crooks, and they have been running this country for the last 10 years, brothers and sisters. And what we witness in the last few hours in our nation is what tens, hundreds of thousands of people have been experiencing in different ways. But more specifically, when it comes to the issue of crime, would you believe, brothers and sisters, as we speak, in 2022, we had 605 murders. In 2023, we had 675 murders. And right now we are competing to outdo 2022 because we get in different figures. The Express tells us it's over 600 thus far. And the other newspapers are saying 585, 590. What we do know is that the murder toll as we speak this evening is well over 590 citizens. And we still have another 15 days to go. So where are we going to end up? Are we going to end up, brothers and sisters, at the end of December 31st with the highest murder rate in our nation's history since independence? 605 murders have been the highest since 1962. And the trajectory is telling us we can reach as high as 625 by the 31st of December 2024. Brothers and sisters, fear grips our nation in this country today, our people. And therefore, the United National Congress offers to the people in the next general elections a new hope, a new vision, fresh ideas to bring about transformation and diversification in this nation. That is what we are committed to doing. And therefore, we offer Trinidad and Tobago, through our leader, we offer quality national leadership for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. That is what we are offering. And that comes in the form. That is coming in the form, brothers and sisters, and in the image of our leader, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar. We offer her, on behalf of the people of our great party, to this nation, quality national leadership to take our country forward. That is what we are committed to doing, brothers and sisters. So I would like to let you know that we have a very tough, well, I should say very interesting, program this evening. We have a battery of powerful speakers here this evening to address you. And the first person I would like to introduce you to is no other person than our Chief Whip. I want to introduce you to one of our deputy political leaders of our great party. I want to introduce you to our sitting member of parliament for Pointe-à-Pierre. And I want to give you the assurance today that David Lee will return as the MP for Claxton Day in the next general election. Put your hands together and warmly welcome Brother David Lee.
Thank you, Chairman. never ceases to amaze me. Good night, Sitaram, assalamu alaikum to all my family here tonight. Let me say good night to our political leader, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar SC, who will be joining us shortly. My parliamentary colleagues, my UNC family, my national executive family, and let me recognize in the front row here, Mr. Jack Warner, for being in this tonight. I also would like to recognize the winning candidate for San Fernando West, Dr. Michael Dowler, is here tonight. UNC family, let me get down to business. My time is short. UNC family and friends, throughout Trinidad and Tobago, tonight I call on you to stand with the UNC in stopping the national destruction and massacre that has engulfed every single aspect of our life due to this wicked PNM. You know Trinidad and Tobago has reached failed nation status when elderly are brutalized. In one weekend, an elderly man was kidnapped right in Bamboo. And then an elderly woman who is related to our colleague, Mr. Baran Beg, her throat was slit, as Wade Mark said. Trinidad and Tobago, the national destruction which has been spreading like a cancer throughout Trinidad and Tobago must stop. Tonight, we put Trinidad and Tobago on high alert. We put Trinidad and Tobago on crisis watch, that yet another critical lifeline of this country, another crown jewel, has fallen into severe problems. The National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, what we know it as NGC, is in trouble. The NGC has made another major loss of $1.3 billion for the year ended 2023. For the second time in its history, the second time in only 3 years, the NGC has made a loss. In 2020, when NGC made its first ever loss of $2.1 billion, it was this PNM government and Rowley in charge. Now that NGC has made another loss for 2023 of $1.3 billion, who is in charge? Rowley and Stuart Young. The same government that has told you that they have stabilized the energy sector, the same government that boasts that they have restored growth to the energy sector, is the very same government that has now broken what we know as NGC. Only Stuart Young and the PNM can destroy a business model that has generated billions in profits for you, the taxpayers, for you, the citizens, for decades, as the sole aggregator of natural gas in Trinidad and Tobago, to become one that is vulnerable, recording 2 major losses in 3 years. And those 2 major losses tally up to $3.4 billion that they have lost in NGC. You know what we could have done with $3.4 billion in this country? This government likes to run with a Nancy story, that the PP government, led by the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, drained NGC. But the fact is, no other government has hurt the economic health of NGC like this Rowley-led government. They have created 2 losses in 3 years, $3.4 billion. In 2021, they wasted your money, $240 million in Atlantic Train 1. In 2017, their Houston negotiations, Rowley and Stewart, made NGC less competitive. However, before I highlight the failure of Minister Young, I want to respond to a man, a brazen, bold-faced man, the NGC chairman known as Dr. Joseph Ishmael Khan. I don't know if I can get Skeevan to put up that picture of him. You see that fella there? You all mightn't see him. Let me show you this fella. See that fella? That fella is trouble. That is the chairman of NGC, ladies and gentlemen. He always, I think he used to parade in Cuba South and canvassing and working for the PNM in our PNM jersey. This government, however, before I write, as I said, Minister Young, I want to respond to Chairman NGC. Imagine the NGC chairman had the gall to tell the media last week, as reported in the Sunday Express, that we are in silly season and that this could be another political football that the opposition wants to create. And I will expand. The NGC chairman, that fellow, and his team just denied taxpayers of $1.3 billion in profit. The NGC chairman and his team, just recorded his second loss ever for NGC, and then they tried to bully the opposition. Tonight I tell that man, the NGC chairman, this is no political football. We are an elected opposition standing up on behalf of every citizen of this nation against the path of collapse, crisis and destruction that is plaguing NGC. No amount of spin doctrine by the NGC chairman to say that the NGC wanted a press conference of honesty will hide the fact that NGC has suffered an embarrassing loss at a time when the natural gas remains in high demand in the global market. Now, on last week, what they did is that they corralled the media. This man, the NGC president and his chairman and his team, they corralled the media in a hotel in Port of Spain. And it was behind closed doors to announce to the media that NGC lost $1.3 billion for 2023. We are coming to the end of 2024, but they are now announcing a loss of $1.3 billion for 2023. Could you imagine what else they are hiding in NGC? Could you imagine that? So this man is talking about silly season. I want to tell you what silly season is by this man. Silly season is when the chairman, this chairman at NGC earns approximately $114,500 per month in board fees. In board fees, $114,500 per month in board fees. Yet, NGC loses $1.3 billion in 2023. This NGC chairman chairs 3 A companies and 13 C companies, all associated with NGC. And Mr. Jack won't know about that. The NGC chairman sits on 16 boards. 16 boards. His monthly fees total, as I said, $114,500 per month, or $1.3 million annually in board fees alone. In board fees alone. I don't mind taking that job. But wait, according to the Minister of Energy, in the same report, because this information is coming out through my colleague, Senator Mark, when he filed this in the Senate. So it is there in Hansard. But wait, according to the Minister of Energy, Young, in the same report, the total amount of money spent on the chairman, this man, overseas travel by NGC, tallies over $30,000 US. Over 210. Yet we can't get Forex. But the chairman of NGC can go all over the world traveling at the expense of NGC. I'll come into Stuart Young now. But let me just respond to the NGC chairman a little bit more. This government likes to say that we are attacking individuals. But tonight the only attack is the attack on every citizen throughout the failed management of NGC. I want to ask the NGC chairman, was the NGC bought over by the Balize House, given you full rights to run it based on your whims and fancies? The last time we checked, NGC was owned by the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You have a duty to run it on proper governance. It is nothing but a political hogwash and reckless politicking that the NGC chairman wants to delay the naming of a new president. Hear this one, a new president, because he feels election is in the air. So he's denying you, the taxpayers, of naming a new president to run NGC. It's either two things. It's either this chairman knows that PNM will lose the next election, that's why he's afraid to name the new president, or he wants to collect more board fees as over $114,000 per month. Right, that too, or maybe both, according to Dr. Moonilal. So we have questions to ask from this man. Why is he delaying naming the president of NGC? Maybe, NGC might be a cash cow for this PNM government. And maybe this chairman is doing work for Stuart Young and Prime Minister Rowley, utilizing NGC. So his rationale really does not have why he wants to not name the president of NGC. Okay, so that we have to keep an eye on this man called Khan, right? I want to tell you something, and while he is losing money at NGC, $1.3 billion for 2023 and 2020, and he's collecting major board fees, you know, and doesn't want to name a president, he is going ahead with this Dragon Gas project. This man is going ahead with Stuart Young and Rowley on this Dragon Gas project. And it is unsettling and disturbing that at the NGC press conference last week, as I said, the officials are telling the country that they have significant time with the OFAC license and will continue to work as long as they are there. So they are not too sure what is happening given the geopolitics of what will be taking place next month when the USA brings in a new president called President Trump. All right, so Rowley the other day went to Barbados and he said he's going to meet some delegates, some US high-ranking officials. Prime Minister Rowley went to Barbados and meet a set of Democrats who lost to Trump the other day. And they have no power in the houses or the Senate in the US government. So I don't know why he went to Barbados in the first place. Maybe as MP Darcy said he went to pick gloves. But let me turn to another individual that my colleague Dr. Moonilal likes to talk about. This is Minister Young. Minister Young has never delivered anything. Minister Young has no results. He has no performance. Every time, and he feels he's the expert of energy in this country. Every time energy makes a loss, he likes to blame it on a company called CGCL project. Every time energy makes a loss, they try to blame it on the PP government. I'm telling Minister Young and Prime Minister Rowley and Chairman Khan, not this time, we're not taking that. We're not taking that. We're not taking that. So ladies and gentlemen, I know my time is coming to an end. I want to ask Young, 2 weeks ago, the Prime Minister boasted about going to Barbados, as I said, and then he also said he was sending Young to Venezuela. He wanted to send Young, Young was supposed to go to Venezuela. I want to ask Minister Young, what happened in Venezuela 2 weeks ago? We know what happened. All of a sudden he came back from Venezuela, he met Maduro, and all of a sudden he has gone silent. He has gone silent. And you would have seen in the media over the last few days, certain things are happening, and I'm asking you, the people, take note of what is happening in the geopolitics between the USA, Venezuela, and we're hoping that we don't get caught up in that, because there's an article right here in the papers. I don't know if you saw it. A gentleman, a prominent human rights attorney, quits ICC. And this human rights attorney quit the ICC, which is the International Criminal Court of Justice. He is protesting that they have not brought Maduro to answer human rights issues at the ICC. So he resigned. And that's a telling fact, ladies and gentlemen. So as I come to an end, I know my time is really, really coming close. I am saying to you, Young and this government do not have the answers. Trinidad and Tobago, we ask you to stand up to the destruction plaguing the energy sector. If this persists, it will mean further economic delay for Trinidad and Tobago. The energy sector and all of Trinidad and Tobago needs the visionary leadership of the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar and her team. 1 week ago, you saw she exposed the massive overruns at Tobago Airport. Her determination and dedication to this country is needed more than ever. She is months away, I would say weeks away, from becoming our next Prime Minister of this country. Let us all, as a team, as unity, rally behind her to save Trinidad and Tobago, my brothers and sisters. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in 2025. I thank you. I thank you.
Brothers and sisters, put your hands together for our brother. Our next speaker is a warrior a fighter, a soldier. She is one of our deputy political leaders. She was a former cabinet minister. She is a member of the Senate in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Warmly welcome, Sister Jillian John.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Honorable Leader of the Opposition and Dr. Gregory Bissessar. Honorable Members of Parliament, Chairman of Corporation, Councillors and Aldermen. LHD Massive? Yeah! You all are here? Yeah. UNC. Thank you for coming out. UNC, a phenomenal political force, one that has steadfastly stayed the course with your party over the years. You have more than met the moment and passed the test. And as we get ready for general elections 2025, I can feel your energy, UNC. And I know you're ready to rock and roll. In the past, there were moments of hostilities towards you, provocation. You were denigrated, told you were not enough, yet you believed in your party. You have stood your ground and you have never wavered. UNC, massive. UNC is strong. You are UNC strong. What are we fighting for? UNC as we move into general election 2025. Speaker after speaker this evening will remind us what we are fighting for. And the honorable political leader also asserts the fight is for and on behalf of the children who represent the future of Trinidad and Tobago. UNC elections have consequences. And we have in charge a government who callously embraced a policy of who dead. A government who has allowed crime to run unchecked, rampant, and murderously in every community. And I cannot see any other government tolerating 5,000 murders since coming into office, with 2024 setting a whole new record, whole new macabre record. Today's headlines, the Honorable David Lee just spoke about them. The home invasion, the horror. Guardian, home invasion, horror. Newsday, crime out of control. When is enough enough? UNC, when is enough enough? You see Rowley, whose excesses, his own waste of time. PLM party had to, Rowley had to, his own party had to check. Remember, he has selected the entire slate of the same waste of time people to come and present themselves to the electorate. What is going to change? What is going to change? When is enough enough? Professor Selwyn Kojo in his article published in yesterday's Express advanced the principle that, quote, elections are about choices, and people are more likely to vote to change their situation than continue in a direction that will grow it worse. As you know, this fellow called Rowley has no time with building anything. He's only interested in building castles in the air, delusions of grandeur, on full display. He indicated to his party his own folly to foist you on the population, believing that Whitehall was Buckingham Palace and that he was the Queen. And all they had to do was to say, hear ye, Stuart is king. But you know what? They check him. And now we don't know if he coming or if he going. We don't know. But the same people who allowed him to show up at the Red House, to trample on the Constitution of the Republic, they're now telling you that the PLM Constitution is more important. Because they voted and supported him. When in 2021, the THA election brought up what? 6-6. What did he do? He went to the Parliament and he passed the own law to move from 12 electoral districts
to 15. All right? As a matter of fact, Martin Daly said at the time, changing the rules of a contest when replaced you does not seem to be a good governance practice. He said in relation to the increase of seats in Tobago House of Assembly and in response to other legitimate inquiries about the basis of decision it makes, the Election and Boundaries Commission has not been as forthcoming as it should. He said, I am yet to understand the constitutional basis on which the government could require the ABC to make a boundary train in Tobago in order to break the tie. That UNC was in 2021. For years, the PNM, Rowley PNM preferred governance style is that of bending the rules, ignoring best practices. It has been about metastasizing and resulting in this out-of-control crime situation and the collapse of the economy. So UNC don't high-five yet. Don't get tired. Sure. You have to work like you've never worked before to secure a general election victory. You see, authoritarians don't recognize boundaries. As Nixon said, if the president does it, it is not a crime. And you know, Rowley, if he is president, if he is king. Keith Rowley wants people to be afraid. He wants people intimidated. Yes, his powers, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, is immense. But this is Trinidad and Tobago, and we are the UNC. So Rowley's power can be opposed. And we are going to oppose. We are going to oppose. We are going to oppose. Because yellow is our code. But the word on the ground is, we fed up. Right? There are no fence sitters in this election cycle. People are too frightened, too fed up, too depressed to sit this one out. Because the Rowley PNM government has destroyed our economy, our peace of mind, and our very way of life. Talk to everybody, UNC. Knock on every door. It has no PNM till again in this cycle. Talk to your neighbors, they want to hear from you. They want the hope that only the UNC government can bring. They want the safety and the security that only a UNC government who will be unafraid of taking the hard decisions and will deliver. They want the economy that only a United National Congress can conceive, inspire, and execute. They want a prime minister with the heart, temperament, and courage to stand in the gap for the poor and the vulnerable. One who does not weaponize our differences, but choose instead to extend a hand to all in unity, peace, and love. So talk to everybody, under the red, white, and black. People who are affected by the high food prices. Because, you know, affected by birth, bold-faced 4%, horrified by Rowley's money grab. Just like you, I cannot go anywhere without someone telling me of why they are voting for the UNC. They say it is personal. On Sunday morning, I was having breakfast, and a mother who worked at a particular place came up to me, and she said, I am working every single day. She asked if we had hampers. Every single day I'm working, but I cannot put food on the table for my children. She said, you all have to win. I told her, vote. VOTE is not the four-letter word I'm using these days. The policeman who said, we are with the UNC this cycle. The government take 47% for themselves and give us 4. They forget the 7. I say vote for the UNC. Businessmen who behaved as if politics was beneath them. It did not affect them. They sat down there, silent as an Elon Musk electric car. Now they're jumping out and jumping out. They're saying they can't get Forex, and Rowley will make them lose the business that 3 generations in their family work hard to build and sacrifice to build. I said that 4-letter word again. So I said, tell your employees to vote. On Saturday, I was told of a 92-year-old lady who was evicted by her own daughter because she was not willing to give her all of her old age pension. Maurice from the great LHC heard what was happening, went to the old lady's assistance. With a friend, he moved her to a safe place. He ensured she had food to continue. And then he did his last act of kindness on that day, was to ensure she had soup to eat, and he stood there while she ate it. You see, this is what UNC does. That is why we stand. Acts of kindness, big and small. Where is Maurice? Where is Maurice? He's somewhere. Where's Maurice? More Maurices are needed in this country. The kindness exhibited by Maurice is normal for most of us. It is in the UNC DNA. We believe we don't have to be mighty and powerful to serve, because everybody can be great. In the house of the rising sun, everybody can serve. You don't have to have a country to serve. You don't have to make a subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. That is why UNC is special. When they ask what differentiates the UNC from the PNM, the difference is the UNC's core value is to serve the people, serve the people, serve the people. So you will be voting for a Prime Minister who has the grace, empathy, temperament, heart and courage to really see you. She sees every one of us, and when we are down, she does something about it. Everyone who hoped and wished and prayed with every new lie, every new distraction, profane outburst, trip to Venezuela, joyride to Washington, hoped against hope that something will come from the Prime Minister and his accompanying young salesman who marketed himself as the world's greatest salesman. You know, they went to Houston and they outsmart them, eh? They watch these people and say, look at these small islanders. Outsmart them in front of the face. They bring back nothing. I think Dr. Lee just spoke about that. They have brought back nothing. But yet, on the weekend, I still see bold-faced Georgia posting up like a supermodel on the papers. Still talking about drug and gas. We have moved on. We have to wait and see what is going to happen. The government has changed. I mean, Ian rolling some Hollywood production, flying up and down still. I don't know what it is. They're just collecting maybe this, the miles, frequent flyer miles now, as they go out. It has to be because it cannot be anything that is productive. So as we reflect on the years 2010 to 2015, followed by the long, painful, disastrous years 2015 to current day, presided over by Keith Rowley, this has helped citizens to make a contrast. There was a time the New York Times referred to us as a tiger in the sea of pussycats. No, all that gone. But thank God for the UNC, we now have the great lion of our pooch. So nobody can have no fence for general election 25. Everybody just waiting to vote them out. UNC, just do your part. So UNC, in case you need to be reminded what we are fighting for, it is to put in place a Prime Minister, a leader who will stop the mess. One will only think about how to bring relief, fairness and equity to citizens. Trinidad and Tobago is exhausted by the nonsense, and we are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Yes. And you know the people are saying, yellow is the code, but the fella is running underground. All right. So we have a leader. As I said, we continue to look at the children they are killing. This is the new law in Trinidad and Tobago. A lot of domestic violence, murdering of our children, old people or elder people, as they said. Crime is everything, everywhere, all at once. I speak of these things because you know nobody on the PNM side don't talk about it. So Trinidad and Tobago is fed up of the nonsense, fed up of the pettiness, the bullying, the viciousness. This is not who we are. We know we are better than this, and that is why we fight. Again, I want to quote Professor Kojoin as I end. Elections are about choices, not necessarily new personalities, even though that will help. People in their wisdom will always choose light over darkness, humility and peace over aggression and bad mind. It is time for the PNM to exit this stage and allow us to do that. So you have to keep going. This is your moment. This is your time to shine. UNC, we got this. We got this. We've been through a lot. And we know, as the Bible says, weeping may endure for the night, but joy cometh in the morning. So let us have an amen. Amen. So keep over alive. I want to thank you very much. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
So good afternoon, folks. My name is Sri Lanka. I'm from the Progressive Empowerment Party for the Point 14 area. And this afternoon, as you know, the Progressive Empowerment Party for this election, this 2025 election, is doing a coalition with the UNC. Tonight being the 16th of December will be the last meeting before the Christmas season. So we're here in conjunction with the UNC to do a live broadcast.
Now that was Jolene John's statement, a matter of fact. We kinda still having some a little technical difficulties here. That was the contribution of Jolene John. And we are going to continue with the broadcast. So before we move on to that broadcast, let's play an ad. So anybody who hoping to get any transportation, cars, vans, any luxury vehicle, check out Sheldon Car.
Good afternoon, folks. Good afternoon. My name is Sheldon Khan from Cottage. And this afternoon, let me introduce you to our Nissan Caravan NV350. For financing options, we are offering this vehicle at $16,000 down, $1,900 a month. That's $16,000 down, $1,900 a month for 6 years. Further details, you can call us at 785-3822. That's 785-3882. And from me and Canon Nigel Autos, let me wish you all a bright and prosperous New Year. So good afternoon, folks. My name is Sheldon Khan.
A former leader of government business in the House of Representatives, a former minister with responsibility for housing and urban development, the Honorable Dr. Roodal Moonilal. Put your hands together for the lieutenant of our police. The vocalist is here. It's a blast from the heart. The Indian anthem is here. But the dance is here.
Thank you. I feel they wanted this song to continue. We'll get to that later. Brothers and sisters, good evening in Shabonas, the headquarters of the United National Congress. I want to begin by extending salutations. The Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, political leader of the opposition, and the next Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Parliamentary colleagues, members of the National Executive, officers of our great party, brothers and sisters assembled here in your numbers. Our hall is completely full. In fact, at this moment now, I'm not even seeing standing room. And I know for a fact that outside of this compound, we have more people than we have inside this compound tonight. Recognize former cabinet ministers of the Great People's Partnership Administration, Mr. Jack Warner. Former Attorney General, Mr. Gavin Nicholas. Other distinguished members of that administration, brothers and sisters listening in on our various social media platforms in the United States, Canada, Europe, and in the Caribbean. And I know we have several folks throughout the world who are tuning in now. This evening we meet on a rainy, dark night in December to indicate to you that this is the last December of Keith Rowley as Prime Minister of this country.
I
God's coming for blessings, but we have to be patient, yeah. Weeping and mourning in the night, but joy in the morning, but we just have to endure. You see, all the way the light up, so you don't really need the light up. Them say what goes around comes back like a ram, I go wake up in the night up. So from sunset to sunset, the red catch I bust in my sweat. I must shine up, I feel like more than the mountain, I trample and it will be like man, non-stop, it's control and it's out there more. Trample them, trample them, trample them, trample them. Jesus, fuck the problems, that's what we're gonna do. Trample them, trample them, trample them, kick out them, kick out the problems, kick out the problems. You see, the Most High never give us more than we can bear, but He give us the strength and the will and the power and the courage to handle our problems through Him. So on the count of 4, I want everybody step on their problems. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trample them, trample them, trample them, trample them, manhandle them, manhandle them, dismantle them, dismantle them, trample them, trample them, trample them, kick out them, kick out your problems, kick out your problems. Try to think you under you flow. Right on the song, they're just like a boat. Start to push you up so you get up. They have to wonder how you dance get up. And every crack you see, you'll see through. And when you help them out, you will get through. So everybody, I feel like
let us welcome again the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar. The next Prime Minister in a short few weeks, the next Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. How wonderful it will be on that night of election. It will be a Monday night, a beautiful night, a Monday night. We are accustomed to Monday nights. When we get our resounding victory and the President will be compelled to invite the Member of Parliament for Superior to take the oath of office as your next Prime Minister. But to get there, we have some work to do. We have to get rid of Keith Rowley and this bunch of incompetent and corrupt government officials. Brothers and sisters, today, I don't have to tell you where crime has reached. They broke into a church today and they stole the kiddies' snack bag that people were preparing for a party later in the week. They thieved the treat bag. They hold up the circus. Today, whether we argue that the murder rate according to the TTPS is 587 or according to the Express is 604, that is irrelevant at this moment. This will be the highest record murder in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Under a minister who is asleep half of the time and half awake the next half of the time. Fitzgerald Hines is the most incompetent minister to ever collect a paycheck in the government of Trinidad and Tobago. A few days ago, did you see him, brothers and sisters? On November 24th, I think it was, he playing with 2 drones in the air. Somebody gave him 2 drones as a gift. And he playing with that in the air. I didn't want to tell him what to play with, but he played with that. When we left the government, we left helicopters, we left functioning sea vessels for the Coast Guard. Brothers and sisters, we left equipment for the police to monitor the prison, grabbers and jammers, electronic monitoring devices and so on. We left state-of-the-art equipment for the police and law enforcement. He played with 2 drones a few days ago. Brothers and sisters, this level of incompetence must stop, and it must stop at the elections when it is held in a few weeks' time. We are sure MP Lee told you, Deputy Leader Rowley and that young bosun, they're the best salesman. Well, you might want to believe them because they sell out the country. They sell out the country. And you know something I must tell you before I get into the 2 issues I want to raise. I want to tell you that no government in the history of this country whether it is the administration of Mrs. Persad-Bissessar, Mr. Manning, Mr. Pandey, George Chambers even, no government has allowed itself to be conned, to be fooled by anyone outside of this country more than Keith Christopher Rowley. He go all over the world with Stuart Young. What is that, around the world in 80 days? What is the fella with Pat Patu, or what the fella named the short fella with the umbrella? And anywhere they go, I don't know what they're taken up with. People fool them. A fella in America has received over $10 million US. His name is Art Collins. He's a lobbyist. What do you ask is a lobbyist? We don't know. For the Democrats, and he out of there now. They pay him in US dollars. That is why businessmen cannot get Forex. They can't get $200 in the bank. Art Collins gone with all. The next interesting person came from America. He put on a pinstripe suit. He took a towel in the pocket. Cut the hair and thing and groom up. And he went with the facility at Point Up here. Liquid the gas facility down there. Nikon they call it. They plug on Nikon, they nearly blow up San Fernando. Today, we get conned out of about $100 million. In fact, they made a deal that the profits from Nikon, 25% will go to the government. What profit? We never see penny. That, brothers and sisters, is Keith Rowley for you. But something happened a few days ago I want to draw to your attention. Just on Sunday last, there was an article in the newspaper, in the Sunday newspaper, and the headline was, Warner in the mix. And I'm not Jack Warner. You're not Jack Warner. You're not Jack Warner. Warner in the mix. Referring, it couldn't be Jack Warner because it referred to Rowley friend. He's not Rowley friend. PM's friend Alan Warner contracted for controversial Tobago Airport project. Brothers and sisters, we have been watching that project closely. They tried to hide everything with that project. Everything. Everything. We had to watch Strait, we had to watch Kokiai, we had to watch that project. There were corruption issues with land acquisition. There were corruption issues with the recruitment, procurement of contractors. Then we heard of materials. You know, since Rowley in politics, you know, material just walk across the road. He's the only man where gravel and sand just walk. Always go missing, always. They have in Tobago this terminal, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar exposed, revealed and bust the mark on them for a massive cost overrun on that project of $500 million. $500 million. And growing, Imbert not growing, but the cost overrun growing. Imbert came to a press conference. He said, no, man, them don't know what they're talking about. It's just about, well, he used US because that's something smaller. He said just $2 million US. So they said, okay, 14 million and so on. When the cabinet note was made public, that it is not that, it is more hundreds of millions of dollars, he called a press conference an hour after. He said, well, I didn't want to say that because I wasn't sure. He wasn't sure what is in a cabinet note. His own note that he took to cabinet, argued for that note. He said he wasn't sure what was in the note. But now that he saw it on the social media, he's sure. Massive cost overruns. Then on the newspaper article, it is very interesting. This Alan Warner has contracts supplying materials to the terminal building. Now that is a terminal building. It is not an airport they're building. They pour scorn and scandal over the Piarco International Airport. And now they just boast this is the leading airport in the Western Hemisphere. They boast about that now. But they scandalize, criminalize that airport. Today, cost overrun $500 million. The friend of the Prime Minister collecting lucrative contracts not only under one company, but two. Both companies that are supplying materials to the terminal building are the same owner. One, of course, is a straightforward case of Mr. Alan Warner Company, because it's Warner Company. But the other one is Presticon, which they purchased. And when they purchased that on a UNC platform, right here I believe it was, we raised that. Yvonne has a picture to show you. When they purchased that, that is the MP site, and they beat them. Stuart Young came to the public and he boasted, he said, we dredged the river and clear up that area and they beat them. First time in 15 years, we happy. What he didn't tell you is if the Prime Minister's partner just by the company there. So what they were doing is undertaking infrastructure works to facilitate the operations of a private company run by the friend of the Prime Minister. This is a Prime Minister, I could say it inside Parliament, I could say it outside Parliament. He plays golf with people who are chairman of boards of directors. He plays golf with contractors of UDCOT while he is the minister in charge of UDCOT. If that happened under the UNC, you ought to come and pick us up on the highway. They drag us on the ground. If that happens, we can't even go to a social function and socialize with people. But Rowley could get away with that. His friends, his family, they get away with that, brothers and sisters. And I ask you to keep an eye on that terminal project, the terminal building in Tobago. The next matter is a matter in the newspaper as well. I think it was the Saturday headline. We asked in Parliament a question. Now the question is a simple question. Require basic mathematics. You think that hard for him, huh? We asked Stuart Young, every time we go to Parliament and Stuart Young is not there, we say, where we going? They say in Venezuela. We go the next week, where's Stuart Young? In Venezuela. Man, we go the next time, where? In Caracas. So, we said something is a bit fishy here. We file a question. Mr. Minister, please tell us how many times you have gone to Venezuela, how much did it cost the taxpayer, who did you go to meet, simple, who did you take on your delegation? Ministers travel on a delegation, where there's 2 people or 10, whatever, they travel with permanent secretary, legal advisor, whatever. You know, in 3 months they have not answered that question. Well, to answer that question, a clerk will work out the answer. It will be in the cabinet note, every trip a cabinet note, how much it costs. When you come back, you will say, okay, the minister attended this, the record is, he met with X, Y, and Z, they discussed A, B, and C. Simple, but they will not answer it. The speaker had to write a letter pursuant to a standing order to compel them. But they will not answer that question. Take it from me, they will not, because it's not they cannot, they will not. Because then Stuart Young has to say who he was meeting. He could be meeting people who are now arrested for corruption. He could be meeting people who are sanctioned by the United States. So he's meeting these characters and they will not confess in Trinidad or admit. Then he's going alone. This is a fella that be flying solo. He's flying solo, he's going alone. I mean, what decent man does go to a business trip alone? So brothers and sisters, he cannot answer that because then he will have to answer who he's meeting, what he's discussing, what clandestine deals they are into. And we will keep on that issue as well because there's a lot of money they have been spending. Today, as Brother Lee told you, this dragon gas business and so on, they only put in dragon gas, and you don't know when this thing will ever happen. In our grandchildren's lifetime, we don't know when this is happening. I don't think Shell has signed on to that as well. The major company involved in that has not even signed on. And with the change of administration in America, that puts it at more doubt, brothers and sisters. So that was one matter we wanted to raise this evening. And the final matter I'll raise in the minute or 2 remaining, that affects all of us and all of you, whether you live north, south, central, wherever, affects you. The Ministry of Works and Transport today is trying hard to match Fitzgerald Hines as the most incompetent ministry and minister in this country. Have you noticed what has happened on the highway? A small project called an extension project between Shogunas and Chase Village. Did you notice that? Yesterday it flooded away. And you had to get pumped to go in the middle of the highway. In the middle of the highway, Meru, they make a lane. So they wax the highway, they wax it. So they put the lane in the middle there. Right? We laugh it so. And they put the lane in the highway and then the middle flood away. They had a pump yesterday pumping water from the highway. When we checked with the Ministry of Works, do you know in that project, they have started the project, stopped the project and restart the project. They use inferior materials. The engineering and design is flawed. And that will not finish. I see the fellow from somewhere around here who looking for vote on the next side. He talk about it opening for Christmas. Which Christmas? Which Christmas? Not this Christmas. That cannot open. If you open that, when you come to the end, you will jump on people's head downstairs and fly over. You'll end up on people's head downstairs if you fly over if you open that. You cannot open that. There's a walk path in the middle. The UNC government put a walk path there because of an accident, many accidents, but a fatal accident once. And we put the walk path there. You know they're running the extension under the walk path and forget that it's planted in the middle of the road? That is the corruption. Yeah, they're running the extension around the post. When you go to Claxton Bay, there's an iron wall in Claxton Bay facing you. You see that? There was a crash last week sometime. Injuries, not fatality, injuries, car destroyed and so on. We warned them. That project started at $4 million. It was a landslip that they had to fix. Landslip started at $4 million. Today the project now is $27 million for that project. 27 million, and the iron standing up from the ground is an iron wall. Nothing is happening. When that project is finished, it will be about $50 million squandered by this administration. Throughout the country, I challenge you, go by any Ministry of Works project, watch on a board if they have a board. The completion date, it will be last year or the year before. While that is happening, brothers and sisters, the infrastructure is the worst it has ever been. I don't have to tell you about the infrastructure, you know it. And the San Fernando waterfront project, they will come in a few days, weeks, to boast about waterfront project in San Fernando. What waterfront project in San Fernando? The water is now on the road. But you know a piece of that place built on San Fernando, and this byway place. Do you know grass started to grow on the highway? Grass is growing down there on the highway. It is flooding away. There is absolutely no development. This PNM has nothing to show. And because they have nothing to show, they will come with scandal and allegations and want to talk about all type of things, the partnership this, the partnership that. I want to tell you, remind them, your family, your friends, your community, that under the People's Partnership, we had prosperity, we had opportunity, we had jobs, we had healthcare, we had education, we built schools, man, we built everything. Under police station, hospitals, everything we built. People had jobs. When you go around, as Jolene told you earlier, and you speak to people, they remind you. A gentleman told me, he said, boss, I want to tell you the last time we got an increase in our pension is under Kamla Persad-Bissessar. I tell him that will be the next time you get an increase in your pension too. That will be the next time you get an increase in your pension will be under Kamla Persad-Bissessar as well. Everywhere you go, people come up to us. I will end with this note telling you, don't be fooled. Don't take chain up from people, as we say. Anywhere you go in this country, sometimes it shocked me. Sometimes it shocked even me. Anywhere I go, people shake my hand of all religion, all creed, all race, every size too. And they come up to me and they say, hey, 99% sure. I said, what do you 1%? He said, they will vote for you too. So, everywhere people are telling you that the PNM government under Rowley is over. They are over, and the country is dying, is crying to change. Mrs. Persad-Bissessar is the only political leader that understands the mood of this country, that understands the aspirations of this country. She has a plan, she has a policy, and she has the personnel to reform, to change, and to take this country and turn it around from this distressing doomsday place that we live in today. So brothers and sisters, in this season of goodwill, stay strong, be hopeful, be optimistic, be positive, that in the new year, the government of Trinidad and Tobago will be the United National Congress under Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Long live the people of Trinidad and Tobago, long live the UNC. I love you all.
Alright, brothers and sisters, could you put your hands together for Dr. Roodal Moonilal? Before I invite the Flaming Word Ministry Choir to present their powerful piece on goodness of God. I would like you to join myself in once again warmly welcoming our political leader, and Dr. Persad-Bissessar. May I take this opportunity to warmly welcome the Flaming Word Choir to render your powerful piece the goodness of God.
Hallelujah. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for that warm welcome. It is so good to be right here. And we say thank you so much to the Honorable Political Leader, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, for this invitation. Of course. You know, we do have some extras in the cast, and you will be hearing from them a little later. But we want to thank God. I want to bring greetings on behalf of Dr. Dave Allen, the President, the Chief Executive Officer, and the Bishop of the Flaming Word Cathedral, and the Justice of the Peace of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. He's always willing to lend his support, and I want to say thank you so much to him. You know, God has been good to us, hasn't he? And one of the most important things that, you know, even Dr. Allen would say, that we can talk about the goodness of God, but you know what? It is so important that we talk about it in the land of the living. We are in the land of the living. If you are in the land of the living, I want you to show your hands tonight. All right? And I want you to join us as we sing the song, because God has been good to us. All my days
on, we can do better than that. My brothers and sisters, our next speaker and final speaker for this evening's meeting is a woman of compassion, a woman of love, a woman of strength, a woman of commitment and dedication, a fighter for peace, security, and prosperity for all of the people of our beautiful Republican state. Brothers and sisters, rise as I warmly welcome our next Prime Minister, our political leader, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Warmly welcome.
Should make you stronger. So my problems is like steroids, boy. I get my doses from all kinds of sources. I don't know them still can't kill me now.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening to the masses of UNC rank and file persons here. Chairman of our proceedings tonight, Senator Wade Mark, all our parliamentarians gathered here and former parliamentarians as well. I say season's greetings to all of you, and I'm inspired and delighted to meet with you. As I say, thank you for coming out tonight. Also, thank you to the thousands of viewers on the live streams of Trinidad and Tobago, in the Caribbean, USA, England, and elsewhere. They could not be with us here in person, but when you look at the views, you know they're watching on from wherever they are in Trinidad and Tobago and elsewhere. I want to really ask you, you can't see the screens, unfortunately. Is there any screen in the audience? Okay, great. So I'm going to ask them to put up a slideshow of our events in 2024, UNC events, okay? So can we get that up, Kevin, please? We stand today united because you, rank and file members, have never given up hope for a better Trinidad and Tobago. You have never given up. You have stood by our parties through these past deadly 9 years. We stand here united today because we believe the scripture which says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. In the house of the rising sun, our lights shine bright and clear, clearing away the darkness. Our light shines brighter and brighter with each passing day because of the strength and loyalty of our loving members of the UNC. Tonight I say we thank Almighty God for watching over us. We thank everyone who prays for us, who believe in us, and stand with us, because your prayers, your words of encouragement, your support have kept us and built us up stronger than ever before. Together we are on the pathway towards government, towards victory. I say, we are UNC and we are proud. We are UNC and we are proud. In the coming year, we'll continue our Monday night meetings, pavement reports, town halls, and I want to introduce some new formats as we go forward into the election to widen our communications reach. I want to give special thanks today, this evening, to the communications team who worked with me as leader of the opposition, Sasha, Kevin, Michael, and Tak, for their hard work this year. You can also look forward to seeing and hearing our messaging and our ads on mainstream media as the election draws closer and closer. You can look at the Trinidad Express Trinidad Newsday, TV6, CNC3, Ian Alley Network, some Guardian media radio stations, AZP News, Synergy TV, OCM radio, and independent radio stations. I want to thank the management of all these media places I've called for facilitating our ads for the media. However, it is not my way of blaming any media house, but I have to tell you what the facts are. The Trinidad Guardian newspaper management and editors refused our ad requests for the general election in their newspaper. Refused. And we did not want it free. We went to pay for it and they refused to give us. We did not have, so we will not have any ads in the Trinidad Guardian. Zero, zip, nada. Look at all the others and you'll be fine. I was somewhat confused when this happened because CNC3 and some Guardian media radio stations, they took our ad, they took our bookings, they took our money, while only the Trinidad Guardian newspaper did not, even though they're all part of the same media network. Same media network. So, Guardian media insiders have informed me reliably that most of the Trinidad Guardian's management and editorial department are P&M trolls who absolutely hate the UNC. In the coming months, the Trinidad Guardian will viciously campaign for the P&M and be the P&M's media mouthpiece. So we warn, watch out for the Trinidad Guardian P&M trolls and their dirty tricks in the coming year, an election year. I say they're good people in the Trinidad Guardian, but they're the P&M trolls who conduct what happens. Many of you know from our officials, you get questions from Guardian media, the Trinidad Guardian, huh? Don't get it wrong, not the whole Trinidad Guardian media house. The newspaper, I'm not getting close, the newspaper, you're right. Newspaper, the print media. They say that they're trolls, they're P&M trolls that will use that media house, that newspaper, to campaign openly for the P&M. Many of my officials know you'll get all these questions. They ask you questions, you give them an answer, and when you read it in the newspaper, it's not what you said to them. Well, yeah, I could call that set up, but that's their job, I guess, as P&M trolls. So going forward, know where to find our messaging on mainstream and social media. Keep yourselves informed and updated. People are speaking out and standing up. Rowley's games and gimmicks no longer fool people. This man is just a lazy, selfish old man. Lazy and selfish. The Rowley government told people to tighten their belts. These are difficult times ahead. Stop eating macaroni pie. Use the coal pot. Park up your cars. Ride bicycles. Don't even go to the cinema. And then you know what they did? No, they raise their salaries and pensions. Raise their salaries and pensions, and I want to tell you what they're going to do to you. I'm going to do a year in review starting from January, and we are now in December. As I close off January, I want to tell you what they're coming to do to you in January. They have laid a bill in the Parliament. It is a bill that has to deal with pensions and public assistance. Well, I just mentioned all the pensions. You know what they're coming to in that bill? This is what you remember once they boasted about cutting 18,000 food guards? You all remember that? Yeah. And they were so happy and proud to tell you they cut 18,000 people from getting their food cards. And they're coming now to cut your access to pensions and public assistance. Whilst they're taking the 84,000 and whatever pensions and allowances. That bill will make it harder for pensioners and persons getting public assistance to access it, to access those grants. They're monitoring how much money you have in the bank. That's what they're going to do. That's what this bill is telling us. I remember they want you to go cashless. They want you to put every cent you have in the bank, remember? Remember? That is so they'll have control of your money that you work for. But the man says, I don't like my money sleeping off. Remember? I want my money. I don't like my money sleeping off. I tell you, They're monitoring how much money you have in the bank. And if you travel abroad, they're monitoring when you travel abroad. They're monitoring if your children give you any allowance, if they help you with whatever you may have to get and do. It's coming to reduce your pension. That is a priority in 2025. So you really have to wonder where they're coming from. In the budget, Imbert complained that there are too many pensioners costing too much money annually. In his budget statement, and here comes this bill. Right in December, this bill came. So what can you expect in the new year? The bill will make it harder for you to access these things and reduce your pension in the new year. That is their new year priority. But their whole year priority is what? Raise their salaries. Raise their pay and offer everybody else 4%. So I just share that with you. This is what the government intends to do with you in the new year. Now, I just spoke about the frequent flyers. I just had my staff check something for me. How many days are there in 1 year? Do you know how many days Rowley spent out of Trinidad and Tobago? 408 days. More than a year. So JJ about frequent flyers, they're not just flying, you know. They're flying out and they're staying out. They're sleeping out. He don't like his money sleep out, but he's sleeping out of Trinidad and Tobago. And he's the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. So, I'm telling you, the PNM is feeling it in their veins. Forrest knows it. Stewart knows it. Imbert knows it. Camille knows it. Terence knows it, and all the others, they all know what is coming down in 2025. They know it. Every time they call a meeting, and they call their members and they get no response, they're feeling it. Every time they call a meeting and fewer people turn up, they're feeling it. Tonight we're feeling the energy here. We're so ready. And then what they've done, they've moved their meetings now, you know, just have outdoor meetings, big meetings. But their meetings getting smaller and smaller. So what have they done? They moved them to indoor meetings in small venues because they can't get people trying to save face with their small numbers. Their own members are fed up and feeling the pain. When they refuse to give workers proper salary increases, but Rory himself wants to take $50 million for fetting. You remember that? Yeah. Fetting and rum drinking, everyone feels it. When the country raises gas prices, Imbert 5 times, everyone feels it. When the country records almost 5,000 murders under the PNM, everyone feels it. And when they raise food prices, electricity prices, water rates, everyone feels it. So I think people have made up their minds to vote for a party and for a leadership to care for them. I see this election as a turning point where we rise or fall as a nation. This election is a turning point where we sink or sail as a people. This election is a turning point where we decide to choose light over darkness. This election is where we stand together, united, focused, strong, bold, and confident. So I ask you, stay calm, stay focused, be ready. The bell will ring at any time. Be ready. For 10 years of nothing, what is our answer? Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. 10 years of arrogance, incompetence, wickedness, and spite. What do? We vote them out. Vote them out. For all the lies and the cry and the mama guy, what do? Vote them out. Vote them out. And let me tell you why. On top of all the other reasons, let me give you this for this year alone. Far less for the other. When they come promise you manna from heaven, remember what they couldn't give you in 9 years, they can't give you in 9 weeks, huh? They've been there 9 going on 10 years and could not deliver. There's not a single thing they can put their hands on that they built. that stands, even that terminal building will collapse if they continue to do this crappy work that they're doing there with the cost overruns. So they cannot point to any legacy that they have, but this is their legacy, I'll tell you. Year in review, 2024, 12 months of this government. January, the Paria fiasco. Remember that? Look at the screen. 2024 began with one of the most damning condemnations of the PNM government when the country was finally able to see the findings of the Lynch Commission of Inquiry in the 2022 tragic, horrific deaths of the Paria divers. The report found that Paria, Rowley's pet company, was guilty of gross negligence with respect to the divers and the way they processed them and they ended up dying. They should be prosecuted. They spent $16.9 million taxpayer dollars to date. The families of these divers are still waiting on justice because the board of directors and the senior management under whose watch this tragedy occurred will never file, and they're still living off taxpayers' hefty salaries. Rowley's golfing partner, here we go again, lawyer, Eater Food lawyer Gilbert Peterson. You know what she was paid? $8.9 million. Not 1 cent to the families of the divers, not 1 cent. $8.9 million to represent Paria in the Commission of Inquiry. Divers' families have received nothing. Paria's chairman, Newman George, another golfing partner of the Prime Minister, wasn't he the one who also went with him on some, when he went for his medical? Am I talking to you here? Yes, they had all gone with Rowley for medical. Yes, all the golfing partners went. But the chairman, Newman George, who had oversight of this debacle, Rowley's very close friend. And let me remind you, Rowley and his two partners, Eater Food, Gilbert Peterson lawyer, and Newman George, guess what? They both have townhouses in Inez Gate in Tobago. Side by side, you know what a townhouse complex is like? One, just like how you're sitting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down the road. They're neighbors all. The golfing partners, there's two I've named, they're more to name in a moment. So this fiasco in January of this year will go down as our nations in our history as one of the most barbaric, inhumane acts by any government. That is the legacy of this PNM. That is the legacy. February, $1 million wooden ladders. Remember those, Garvin? $1 million wooden ladders. In February, the PNM Rowley government, scandals continued when the country was made aware of the $1 million unusable ladders. Remember, they bought 20 wooden ladders for $999,000. That's $1 million from Amalgamated Security for the fire service. They could not use these ladders as they were unable to fit on the fire trucks. So that's $50,000 for a wooden ladder. Don't have me say that, please. You want to make a joke? You want to make a joke? These wooden ladders couldn't be used at all, not fit for purpose. Fire officers reportedly feared using ladders because they would risk getting injured. I am told that the ladders have been dumped at the back of the fire services headquarters. So that was February 2024. In February 2024, the Integrity Commission and the Auditor General's Office launched probes into this misuse of taxpayers' funds by the PNM government. March, SSA scandal. In March 2024, the country woke up one morning to hear from Rowley that the director of the SSA, Major Roger Best, Pastor Ian Brown, a special reserve officer assigned to the SSA, Security Supervisor Portel Griffith, and Sergeant Sherwin Waldron, assigned to the SSA, was sent on leave over what we later find out that they revealed to be a planned religious coup against the Rowley government. That was the scandal in March, SSA. Up to today, no one has been charged. No one has been charged. Nothing has come of that. He just fired all of them. Reminds me of what other people have done in other countries like Venezuela, where the dictators move out key personnel everywhere. That was one of the most baffling stories to come out of a government, when murder and mad people as the star characters, which shows that Rory cannot even control an organization on his own nose, because he is the chairman of the National Security Council. No wonder we have unprecedented levels of crime and murders under this government. Moving along, April, dead babies at the NICU. You know, usually we forget these things, you know. And I'm just doing this per month, not per week or per day. The bacchanals continue, bacchanal 1, bacchanal 2, bacchanal 3, bacchanal 4. With April, bacchanal 4, April, dead babies at the NICU. In April 2024, the country was shell-shocked to learn about the deaths of 19 babies at Port of Spain General Hospital in the NICU. And you see, that is what spite and malice and ill will does. Because we had built the Couva Children's Hospital, which was fully equipped for children, had its own NICU, own unit there. Dr. Bodo will know, I'm saying Dr. Bodo, somebody will know. Many of the doctors here elsewhere will know. It was fully equipped to treat with those kinds of situations. So this heart-rending tragedy caused an uproar in the country. A POW investigation into the matter later found, among other things, this is what they found, POW. Up to now, we don't know which of this has been dealt with, which is the terrible Terence is doing. Some people call him the Minister of Death. But man, you should hang your head in shame and never show your face again when 19 newborn babies died under your watch and you still sitting there and going back for a seat. St. Joseph, what we say? Vote them out, vote them out, vote them out, vote them out. These were the issues that the POW found, like this, pure negligence. Active surveillance of monthly HAI, bloodstream infection, BSI rates is not conducted. This is at the Portsmouth Hospital. This is what they found when they did it. Outbreak identification and number of outbreaks in the last year data are not reported. Microbiology stood at 40% compliance. The 40%, you're less than 50%, you're half dead, or more than half dead. 40% non-compliance. External performance evaluation and internal quality assessment are not performed. Policies and procedures for prevention of surgical site wound infection in OB theatre is not done. There was an inadequate ratio of nursing professionals to patient ratio. That is the hallmark of the Rowley government and terrible Terence Diasting. They are baby killers and harbingers of death and destruction in every sector in our country. That was April. Moving along. Bacchanal 5, the Auditor General's report scandal. Missing $3 billion. In May, our country learned that one of the biggest thefts in our history, when the Auditor General revealed that $3 billion of taxpayers' money was missing from government statement of revenue. That was in May this year. Up to now, we can't find this money. Where the money gone? Where has this $3 billion gone? We will find out, because when we form the government, we'll do a thorough criminal probe. Where is this $3 billion? We know how much we could have done with $3 billion with schools, fix roads, yes, improve the healthcare system. So much we could have done. Where's it? Box raise, yes, for the flooding, you're right, so much. We found out then this $3 billion money missing. This, well, all right, we'll do an investigation later. When we found this out now, it only came to light after Imbert refused to lay in Parliament, as the law provides, the Auditor General's report. Because what they were trying to do, he was trying to force the independent Auditor General to toe the line and cook the books. She refused to do it. The Rowley government faced allegations that it was bullying the Auditor General after it sent a pre-action protocol letter when the Auditor General refused to accept new statements, which were submitted after that understatement of revenue. And when it was discovered, they tried to send some new ones and tried to force her to redo the report. What they had to do eventually is that come back to Parliament, come to the Parliament. These accounts were not accepted. The government moved Parliament to extend the time for the Auditor General to present a report after the time set by the law of the land. That matter is now before the courts, but it exposed the Rory government as liars who up to now cannot say where the $3 billion have gone. This thieving PNM government has gone with $3 billion missing, but they will not escape. They could run, but they cannot hide. They could run, but they can't hide. We will go after them. We look for your money. That is your money. You pay those tax dollars. We still reach only half a year, you know when? June. Finish me. $3 billion missing. Yes. June. Jindal. Jindal, you remember Jindal? In June, Bacchanal number 6 occurred. Rory tried to get Jindal Steel and Power Limited, led by its chairman, Indian businessman Naveen Jindal, to come to Trinidad to buy the Petrotrin refinery to process Maduro's Venezuelan oil. Jindal is internationally discredited. He is facing criminal charges back in his homeland of India. A Forbes report said the federal investigator booked Jindal for what he claims were kickbacks paid by him to an ex-minister in exchange for being granted coal mining rights. The question now is, who may have been in line from this thieving government to get kickbacks for the Petrotrin refinery? We called them out, we all did. We called them out. We called on Rory to address allegations of corruption involving Jindal and questioned his reported connection, this is Jindal, with Venezuela, Maduro's Venezuela. And then Jindal backed out of the corrupt deal because we exposed him. We exposed Jindal and he had to drop out and run. We exposed him. Remember that. And I said, what is the opposition doing? You know how many exposures we have had? And that is the job of the opposition. A loyal opposition is to get you government accountable, keep the government transparent and accountable. That's part of our job. July, Bacchanal 7. FUL for Alan Warner. What? Jack Alan Warner that MP Moonilal spoke about. In July, Rowley and the government's blatant corruption were in full glare of the public when it was revealed that Rowley and Stuart Young, in his capacity then as a National Security Minister, Stuart Young, they had both sent messages to former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith for granting an FUL license and a blasting license, I didn't say blasted, and a blasting license for Rowley's friend Alan Warner. The message was sent to Griffith in the morning, and by evening, Griffith had approved FUL and sent it to Rowley's special branch officers to hand deliver to Alan Warner, all in one day. All in one day. All in one day to hand deliver to Alan Warner. This is the same Alan Warner Dr. Moonilal just spoke about. And can I tell you, by the way, Alan Warner was the owner of the townhouses in Inez Gate, where all the fellows, the Gulf partners, line up. Inez Gate. Corruption and abuse and misuse of office by all three office holders for FULs. While the average law-abiding citizen, you are denied the right to access a legal firearm. We say the UNC, when you put us in office, you will be entitled to apply for, and once you qualify, you'll have a legal firearm to protect. You know, the band-aids and elderly ladies' throat slit. If there was someone in that house with a licensed firearm. I saw a video where they took a man out of a, they dragging him like an animal. If there was someone else in that home with a licensed firearm. So it's for defense, it's for defense, to protect your loved ones, to protect your family. August is which month of the year? Which August? 8? Bacchanal 8. HEC, $475 million contract for Chinese contractor. In August, the government was once again caught in corruption when Rowley's personal friend, executive chairman of NH International, Emil Dyer, said, this is his friend said it, he was deeply concerned about the intention of the HDC to award China Harbour Engineering Company Limited nearly $500 million contract to construct houses in Santa Rosa, even though the Chinese company submitted the highest bid of $475.8 million, when local contractors' bids were much less. Okay? By the way, the chairman of HDC is another partner of the Prime Minister. His name is Noel Garcia, really. HDC Noel Garcia. Now, he doesn't own a townhouse in Linus Gate. But I'm told, and I'm asking if this is true, he has purchased a piece of land, in the piece of land in Tobago that was the maker of the land date scandal, if you remember, on that same compound. Senator Mark sent me some documents which I haven't had a chance to look at very carefully. So it's all in the family, all in the government partners and friends. And this bid, shame and scandal. The bid was scuttled after the Office of Procurement advertised they were going to review and investigate the award of this contract. HDC panicked and dumped the contract and the contractor. So this is kickbacks, corruption, again, the legacy of this Rowley P&M. Legacy of the P&M. September 2024, property tax payment fiasco. In September, Rowley government's bacchanal, scandalous and chaotic nature was again on display. Ministry of Finance implementation of the property tax payment system. We saw tens of thousands of citizens suffer from unpreparedness and poor implementation. The property tax will only be paid in person, with cash or check, at a BIR office. The deadline then set in September was for September 30th. Caused thousands of persons to flood the BIR offices to pay up because they didn't want to have to deal with the penalties. For non-compliance, because it was at the end of September. People were forced to get into the lines. They didn't have accommodation. They were out in the hot sun and the rain, punishing heat, unresolved queries, other traumas to pay property tax, which was then used to give Rowley and his ministers a pay increase. All that property tax they collect every month, they say, deadline is the month. Deadline. We do that every month. So what is the new deadline, Jackie? December. They're not going to do it. So they're scraping every cent, forcing you, because if you don't comply, they could seize your house, you could sell your house. It's a very frightening state of affairs, and that's where they are. So, again, in all its backwardness, full display. And again, who suffers? You, the citizens suffer. October, $50 million FET money. $50 million FET. In October, another glaring example of the Rowley government's corruption and wastage of tax dollars, full display. In the budget documents, Imbert announced a staggering increase in the entertainment budget in the Prime Minister's office, which was $890,000 for the year 23 to 24, 1 year. They raised that to $50 million for the year 24 to 24. $50 million per Saturday already. Christmas party, I think was Saturday. In my budget response, I accused the Prime Minister of fetting while the public, urging the public hold strain, tough economic times. I noted that the $50 million earmarked for official events was put it together with what they gave for strengthening child protection system. So $50 million in the Office of the Prime Minister for FET and Rigging Run, and $1 million allocated to strengthen child protection system. Where are the priorities? Shame. They cut what by 5? They cut the Children's Authority Summit to $5 million, but $50 million for what? FET and Rigging Run. That's the official entertainment, but it's an election year. So let's see, Mr. Rowley, careful, you're spending our 50 billion this year. It could be coming for you. We are coming to find out where this is coming from. Where is it going? So $50 million for fat and drinking, while citizens are told to do what? Tighten your belt and go straight. That is the nature of the PNM. They choose fetting and rum drinking with their PNM pedophile friends over financing children's welfare and development. November, and the year isn't finished yet, huh? November, pay rise. In November, Rowley and his PNM MP's greediness was evident for all to see when they accepted the salary increases proposed by the SRC. This government raised their own pay after bankrupting the country. This was after offering workers a measly 4%, telling everyone to hold off until 2027. This is one of the most tone-deaf, callous, selfish moves ever made by a Prime Minister and his government. This when the Minister of Finance was asked about it in an interview, or when he was dealing with the same Tobago airport scandal. When he was asked, he said, the Prime Minister has already made a statement, I have nothing to add. And I think the reporter got buffed, because she asked again, but what is your view on this? You were saying the Treasury has no money, we can't do anything. What's your, I have nothing further to say. The Prime Minister has pronounced. So what is it, a dictator? According to somebody who spoke earlier, the king and queen, he decrees, the rest of the cabinet has no say in this. And I'm asking tonight, whether the young MP, Leon's is his name? Adrian Leons, did not get back his seat because he was the only PNL MP who said he did not think they should take the salary increase at this time. Because it was the only PNM MP who said we should not take this pay increase at this time. So I don't know if that's why going give back his seat or there's more in the motor than the vessel. So here we come now, December, we're in December, Tobago Airport. Tobago Airport. This month, first week, December, I exposed the massive cost overruns at the airport. And as I said, the Tobago A&R Robinson International Airport project to the tune of about $500 million. And whilst I mentioned the name of Mr. Robinson as a good son of Trinidad and Tobago, and especially of Tobago, today is his birth anniversary, today the 16th. We're also the date of an election in the past. So we named the airport A&R Robinson after Robinson as a son of Tobago, who made Trinidad and Tobago proud, we named it. I understand they're rushing this airport, Dr. Moonilal and Mr. Warner, so Rory could put a cornerstone with his name on it. A plaque. He wants it, he's desperately pushing to get this airport to put this plaque. I didn't hear that. The Prime Minister's best friend, Moonilal, told us, is again at the center of another scandal. He's a big contractor on the project. Now, right after we exposed them, Emmett came to light, and I think Moonilal dealt with it, so I wouldn't go into detail, I think you all could remember. Then after the leaked cabinet note proved he was lying, he came with his tail between his legs to backtrack, and admitted the cost overruns. There is massive corruption going on in this project. I have called for a criminal investigation into this matter, and I maintain now that Imbert must be fired. But if he's not fired, we will vote them out. I saw the media recently dredging up a failed businessman, Mikey Joseph, to defend the PNM on this project. If the best person that the PNM could find to defend them is this total waste of time person, we know the PNM is in deep trouble, deep trouble. So as I come to a close at the end of the year, I've already given you a preview of what is going to be happening in January with the pensions and the public assistance. Pensions and public assistance. Yes. Overrun into the next year. So I have some special awards I want to give out tonight with your help. That is 12 months of PNM scandal, shame and scandal in the PNM family, thieving and corruption in 2024, which shows that they are running our country to the ground with their laziness, greediness, and incompetence. So let's give out the end of year awards. one Liar of the Year. The award goes to Colin Imbel for lying about a missing $3 million and the $500 million for the Tobago costume run. 2, most vile and evil person of the year. I have another one for all, don't worry. This award goes to Terence Dialsing for the deaths, thousands of hospital deaths because of his incompetence to the healthcare. 3, baby killers. 3, most incompetent person of the year. All of them are here. This award, we have a multiple tie here. Hines, Scotland. David West, Police Service Commission. Christine Campbell, and Keith Rowley for the violent crime crisis, most incompetent. Biggest hungry mouth, eat a food fake elite of the year. The award goes to, we have a tie. We have a tie. Gilbert Peterson and Douglas Menz and Kerwin Garcia. The award for the most confused and senile note taker or writer. Another time. Rational Limo Amo and the Trinidad newspaper editor. Worst political miscalculation. In this award we have a tie. Stuart Young's grab for political leader and prime ministership. Worst political miscalculation. He narrowly beat a fellow from the next party, I won't say who, and Keith Rowley for taking the SRC increase. 7, Crybaby of the Year. The award goes to Keith Rowley for every postcard media presser and practices questions in Parliament. Keith Rowley. Keep on me moving faster than you are to the best. That was worse for the Crybaby of the Year. The award goes, as I said, to Keith Rowley. Every postcard media briefing, he's forever buffing somebody and crying. Always do. That you have had leaders before me. You will certainly have leaders after me. But you will never ever have a leader. On behalf of my family, on behalf of the UNC, and on my own behalf, I wish all of you a very safe, Merry Christmas, and a bright and prosperous new year. Thank you, and may God forgive you.
Should make you stronger. So my problems is like steroids. I get my doses from a kind of sources. I don't know them still can't kill me now.
I would ask both please to stay. We have a little parang wrap up and we have some snacks for you, so please stay. We have waiting. Okay, so God bless you all again, and please stay around. We have some little entertainment.
From all kinds of sources. I don't know them still can't kill me now.
have the Flaming Word choir render 3 Christmas songs. So can you take your seats? Thank you.
Right, so we want you all to have a very, very, very good time this evening, all right? You would have heard before we sang the goodness of God, but we are in this Christmas, we are in the spirit of Christmas, and we want you to enjoy these performances. And at this point in time, I want to welcome, joining us, we have Dr. Dave Allen's 2 daughters who are attorneys at law, and of course Ian Allen's sisters. We have attorney Leander Allen, and of course we have attorney Leandra Allen, and they're going to sing, we are going to sing for you this evening. Our first song will be Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, the second song will be Under Parandero, and the third song will be Merry Christmas.
Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit reign.
Yes, sir. Right.
Hi, pleasant good night, everyone. I'm Candace Edwards, and it's always a pleasure to be here, to stand together, all right, to stand together with the United National Congress, to bring some awareness as to what's taking place in the country and putting our foot down against all the negativity that is taking place, all the advantage that has been taking place upon us with this evil PNM government.
Like it, bro, did not do that.
There's funny light in this thing.
Yeah.
This is battery operated?
Yeah.
Right, so we're here tonight to make a stand saying enough is enough. Now is the time for us to take back our country from this evil that is plaguing the land. And again, I'm here showing my support because for the help that the UNC government would have given to me and my son. And I am standing together with them for us to get this thing over and done with, to take back Trinidad and Tobago from this evil government. Have a pleasant night, everyone. Thank you very much for having me.
Right. This is Jolene John here. Jolene John, what is the message here?
Beautiful speech. Start off. Beautiful speech. How can you stop clapping?
Well, thank you for that. But I'm hoping that you all would have seen a different side of the UNC, because a lot of people have a lot of perception of who we are and what we represent. But you can see we are heart and soul, and we are about the people of this country. All right, we're really concerned, and we really work hard, and we really welcome everybody. All right, and
I like your watchword, vote.
Vote, exactly. But not only that, you see when UNC calls something, it's bigger than a Marshall Fete. I hope all you see that too. You understand? You understand? That is one thing. Our people respond, my dear, right? We have supporters, right? A lot of people who are interested and who are really working and rallying on behalf of the country. When I spoke about Maurice, that is who we are. We show up. You understand? That is one person.
People always reiterate about the amount of things, people especially from the East, reiterate about the amount of things that you gave those communities in terms of fridge and beds and stoves in that area.
No, but that, you understand, listen, that wasn't me, Those people, their lives were flooded. There was a big flood, a major flood, all right? And citizens of the country called and asked me, what can we do? All right, so they showed up. Of course, the opponents spin that in their own way because they don't care about anybody, or somehow they're tone deaf. I don't know what it is, but we really are about do unto others and being your neighbor's keeper. All right, that is a grounding principle of the United National Congress.
So I don't want to ask about the same thing, but what is the message that you have for Trinidad and Tobago in a nutshell? I hear you say voted about.
Well, the message is we can't ignore where our country is. Whether you're into politics or you're not into politics, right? You can't walk the road, everybody telling you the same thing. We are depressed, we are down, we are. And listen, vote in your own self-interest. All right, it's something you're working, you're working. You can't love somebody more than you love yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying we need a change. They're saying they need a change. Not me. People are saying we need a change. Okay? And I'm saying the change is here, looking at you. We know the change is going to come. And I'm sure when that change comes, it will be for the better, really and truly. Things are going to improve. Nobody could be worse than the PNM. But I'm not saying it's a race to the bottom. I'm simply saying that the way we are structured, we are a very aspirational party, very aspirational, right? We come out, we welcome everybody, and it's the same way we go about our business. The same way we show up. I'm not saying we are perfect, but I'm saying that we really try very hard to be our brother's keeper. All right, so I'm saying, people, vote. That's the only four-letter word I'm going to use tonight.
Thank you much. Thank you much, Alan.
Thank you.
So that was Jolene John, and we're looking for Mr. Vasan Bharat. He promised me. This is the mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the mayor of Chaguanas. Mayor, on behalf of Workers' Rights Channel and Progressive Partner, do you mind giving us a short interview? Yeah. So this is the mayor of Chaguanas, the most striking gentleman in the UNC party.
Thanks for that.
So, what are your thoughts on the event tonight?
It's always a fantastic event. All UNC events is a fantastic event, and it's good to have members of other political parties present.
Because I know we all have to understand the mission.
Yeah, and the mission is simple. We need to unite to ensure we take back our country. And
I heard them mention about that flooding in the middle of the highway in Shogunas there that affects a lot of people on a daily basis.
The issue,
or was it traffic?
The issue right now, that highway extension or widening project should have been completed in September, right? Now, then they said it's going to be a Christmas gift. Christmas is a couple days away, right? No gift in sight, right? So when is this going to be completed? What we are seeing, this is something that the PNM constantly do with all their projects. It never finishes on time, always cost overrun. So I want to know what is this costing the citizens of this country? This massive delay in the time. I want to know what this is going to cost the citizens of this country. But I can tell you what it is costing citizens right now. It's costing them frustration and valuable time lost with families during this holiday period. It should be a festive period, but now what they are being faced with is frustration because there's traffic throughout. It is even more compounded than that. Drivers who are accustomed using the highway going north and south is using the back roads in Shogunas and further congesting Shogunas, causing a traffic nightmares in Shogunas.
So we're looking for We're looking for Vastan Barrett.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Oh, yo. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Oh, yo.
So folks, that looks like it for the night. Let's walk back outside and see if we see anybody else.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas for you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
So folks, that brings us to the end of the show tonight. I hope you were well informed. I hope we got into your bedroom. Hey, look Dion boy. Come now man, Dion man. Come now man. Yeah, we are now going to close up until we see one of our brothers from another mother. Dion. Dion, say a few words, someone. Say a few words for the channel now.
What words you want me to say?
Merry
Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. Stay safe, stay good, and vote for United National Congress.
You enjoyed the event?
And to the people of Murga Tableland, vote for our good MP, Miss Michelle Benjamin, most hardworking.
Miss Benjamin, is it possible we could get a few words from you? I know you say you're hoarse, and you ain't feeling much to talk tonight, you know. But go just indulge just a little bit now. How is Murga Tableland going these days? What's the expectation for the upcoming general election? What's happening in Muruga?
Right, so good night, and I can tell you
safely that... when and
when? I can tell you safely that Murga Tableland will be returning to the United National Congress. Right. We would be forming the next government, and Murga Tableland will be at that table. What we are looking forward to is a change in government with Kamla Persad-Bissessar as the Prime Minister, because there is much to fix in this country. Sad to say that we had a sister fallen today, but she's victim of her own government, in the sense that I could tell of stories of my own constituents suffering similar fate, perishing in fires because of the ills of this government failing to attend to the needs of the fire service. Different fire stations, Princeton Fire Station is closed down. And if you know the geographical layout of Murga Tableland, we do not have a fire station. We depend on Princeton, but now
Somebody
sadly...
told me that you all use BP services or some kind of thing, like some kind of mad arrangement like that?
No.
That if you have a fire, or it's called BP?
No. For the year we had 4.
But that's why somebody from that side told me somebody working BP, they say people down there is called BP to fire take place in...
No. For the year we would have lost 4 4 of my constituents, and I can tell you if a fire takes place, God forbid, we have to depend on Miaro or Debe, and they and all suffer the fate
So
of
people
those
that
have
come
an
home and
appliance.
of course quarrel with you and
Of course, my constituents know I'm someone always fighting, someone willing to put myself in harm's way, whether it be for infrastructure or any social need that they may have. I'm always putting myself out there. I'm always advocating. So I'm not one to take anyone taking a stance or raising an argument or a point in any sort of way. I will listen and I will do what is necessary. I'd advocate.
yeah, but when people die like that on a constant basis, they must get frustrated over a period
That-
of time.
that-
And you being the closest person to government that you know, they would probably want to take all that frustration on you. Whether you are in government or not, as far as they're concerned, you are the representative, you know, because they're not seeing the PNM. So
Rightfully so, and you will get that even from the strong PNM polling divisions in my area. They will be similar frustrated and they will take it to me, but I will show them that at the end of the day, PNM is government. They are not doing anything
but are they
for
coming
us.
to the realization that the PNM is not working and they need to make a change? Are they coming to that fruition?
Most of the youths, I can tell you, they are aware of that fact. But sadly, PNM, they are using the plaster, especially in rural communities, and this plaster is in the form of hampers.
Right.
So I could tell you as of
But how long
today,
a hamper will last?
it depends on the size of your family. A hamper could last
And then
3
Kamla
days.
spoke about
Most families are 5 and up, so a hamper would give you a day. Depends on what you cook, and if you cook like 3 square meal. I come from a household, although my mom only made 3 kids, growing up in an extended home with my grandparents, which is 14 plus kids with grandchildren. So on an average day, we could gauge around 30 in a house. A hamper in our house would not survive outside of a day. All right, so most persons are just seeing that PNM is coming around to put this plaster, and even today they were on the ground trying to give out 1,000 hampers. I'm telling you, I'm facing the hamper war. So I call it the war of the hampers. I am dealing with that, but I'm going to get a rude awakening that people don't want handout. Trinidad and Tobago, they wanted an opportunity. But they are again throwing hampers to every situation. So there's a pothole, hampers. Fire station, hampers.
I don't understand what you mean fire station hampers.
But that is what. So they think if they give you a hamper, that cure everything. All right? That is the cure. That is what I'm dealing with.
That's all it have, none cheaper.
So they're treating us with hampers.
No, it has some, as we say, them election doctors and them say that PNM would have gained ground in the local election.
And let me correct that.
Yes.
If you know Lingua Indian Walk electoral district, right? PNM traditionally have 2 strong polling divisions. And if you follow 3540 and 3545, even in a general election, they would always subscribe to the PNM mantra, come what may. And they are, as today, as I told you, they are on the ground giving out hampers. They are back in these same 2 polling divisions, but the numbers that could come out from those polling divisions is between 700 to 800 persons, respectively in both, and that is whether usually that number come out for a general election. But in the local government, they use state resources, which is self-help. HGC came and gave home improvement grants. So you would have seen Camille Robinson Regis, I think was 3 weeks before the election, giving out $1.3 million. And similar to so self-help would have jump and follow suit. And even LSA with the HPIB homes. I don't know if I have the acronym correct, but they build the $175,000 homes. So they would have used that mechanism to get that polling division to come out in their general election numbers. And then the election was put on my Muslim brother, Bakra Eid. So while my Muslim brothers were doing their traditional rites, and that is all that it was. It wasn't they gaining grounds, they just pull out the general election numbers there. My numbers are there. They don't have the numbers to throw around the United National Congress. We are strong, and they know that. Hence the reason, as I said, they are fight. I think I'm going to do somewhat of a meme and put out a hamper and put a PNM, because that is how they're fighting everything. Hampers. But that is not what we want. We want opportunities, and we want Trinidad and Tobago to return to that great glory that we once knew it was, and we were the what? The pride of the Caribbean.
I think Dion was always speaking to me about that Muruga is a very agriculture kind of place.
Yes.
And that's where the focus needs to be.
Well,
agriculture is one aspect, and I could tell you my young population, they are looking for opportunities, and yes, of course, we are dependent on that agricultural sector, but apart from that, we are looking at some sort of industrial training schools because remember we do have the heritage with lines passing through there. We do have Saunders Trace where HP Drilling would have get that $100 million. So we do have that oil sector still in passing through my constituency, and Touchstone with regards to that Ottawa Miaro block pass through the Tableland area. So I'm trying to get the TechVoc NASC to return to the constituency, do the training, and so my youths could get greater opportunity. But yes, agriculture is one of those vessels.
Well, thanks very much, my dear. And you're always lovely as ever.
Thank you.
So folks, that was a wrap. Again, my name is Sheldon Khan from the Progressive Empowerment Party. We are in the UNC headquarters in Shogunas for the last Monday night meeting for the year. So on behalf of myself, Sheldon Khan, Renison Jeffrey, Candace Edwards, and the Workers' Rights hard working team, Merry Christmas.
Right, that was last night. The whole entire side, as I say, we would have taken a different aspect on this, in where we would have engaged members of the crowd, and we could not play every single part. But there are certain parts of this interview in which we are going to cut up, and we are going to send out, because it was a very important message there from Michelle Benjamin, in which the PNM saying that they gain grounds to a certain degree within the community. But at the end of the day, as you say, the fight in this hamper war. So everything is a hamper. Hey, you have a problem there, or where you come out, we go give you a hamper, 1,000 hamper. What is more better than giving a man a fish every day? Teaching him how to fish. Teaching him how to be self-sufficient. Teaching him how to able to care for himself, his family, his friends, his neighbors, his community. That is what we want back in Trinidad and Tobago. That is the solution to the crime and the criminal activities. Because it's clear, what we have for governance in Trinidad and Tobago is nonsense. What we have for a security commissioner is nonsense. And we are seeing a failing society that is taking place right around us. And nobody wants to take responsibility. Fitzgerald's not going up again, and all of a sudden he absolved from the crime that is taking place within this country. Ola Christopher, she's a woman, and you shouldn't attack she. I mean, these are some of the comments that the PNM activists are saying. But you are seeing what going on the ground, where we was there. We give it from a different perspective, and I hope that the people involved see the amount of hard work that I and my team, Sheldon Khan, Candace Edwards, all of us are doing. The PEP, the Progressive Empowerment Party, and everyone is doing to make this thing work, to foster this relationship, that we could live better in Trinidad and Tobago, and we could be better able to take care of ourselves and our family. Again, this is the Workers' Rights Platform. My name is Renison Jeffrey, and we are out. So before I go, I am going to play one of our ads for you to see. And if you ever need a vehicle, reach out to Sheldon, and and it's a wrap. So thanks for watching and being a part of this broadcast. Anybody who is subscribe to the platform and be a part of this fastest growing network. My name is Renison Jeffrey. This is the Workers' Rights Broadcast Platform. As a matter of fact, we are broadcasting live from the Workers' Rights Network. On behalf of our staff and team, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon, folks. Good afternoon. My name is Sheldon Khan from Canada Niger Lotus. And this afternoon, let me introduce you to our Nissan Caravan NV350. For financing options, we are offering this vehicle at $16,000 down, $1,900 a month. That's $16,000 down, $1,900 a month for 6 years. Further details, you can call us at 785-3822. That's 785-3882. And from me and Canada Niger Lotus, let me wish you all a bright and prosperous New Year. Good afternoon, folks. It's your boy Sheldon Khan. And this afternoon, we're here with the Workers' Rights Chapter. So this afternoon, we came to promote our new program, Advocates for Justice, which will be on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. But while we're here in Port of Spain, this is your favorite punch place, Sports Power. Right? So we come to get my favorite thing. I go and take either peanut and CMOS or peanut and beetroot. So this evening we buy Horsepower Energy Center. And this is one of the places when we come to Spain, we just come. So come and check it out. Punch here, real boys. This is Sheldon Khan from the Workers' Rights Chat. And we're going to be starting a new program on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 7:30 to 9:30. But this evening we're here in Port of Spain to meet our other co-host Candice, right? So we just did a video with her. Come here and Horsepower, take your punch, and go back on the road. Alright, so I'm gonna have a peanut and beetroot. The rest is gonna have a peanut, I got peanut and beetroot. Hey, I'm gonna take a peanut and beetroot. I do. But then I'm gonna take a peanut and Simon, and I'm gonna drink some in here. What's your name, darling? Kira, we're gonna make it for two. Just remember, when I come and post, they get up and was sponge. Come and try it here. That's how much in the cathedral.
But I think for the boy.
This is the peanut and CMOS. And this is the peanut and beetroot. And it's given to small cup. And the remaining cup there is where you have to drink for. I wait for them to make out that. So when you buy a punch here, it's in this spoon. And whatever in the cup is yours as well. Normally, you just buy a small cup $5. People have that kind of capacity. But I come in here and drink it for a long time, so I just drink one man like that. Whereas you get a small cup.
I don't study and me my small cup, I drink it off mine just so. But I think for the boy, Horsepower.
Nobody can tell anyone punch like me and Rins. You all over the place, but they know that. But they see me all over the place. Point, Sato, Pinal, Galiocha, Port of Spain, Flagaramas, Arima, Grandi. Really. Right. Now let's queue up. 5 horsepower. We're on the move again.
once said, "The past is in your head, but the future is in your hands." You can either keep whining and be a pathetic loser, or you can be a G and become the most successful person your bloodline has ever seen. Don't call me lucky. I failed more times than you tried.